Good evening, everybody. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, January 13th, 2026. This meeting is being video and audio recorded for future cable broadcast. Please silence all cell phones for the duration of the meeting. May I have a motion to open the school committee meeting?
So motion.
Second.
Do a roll call.
Mr. Ellis?
Yes.
Mrs. McGuinn?
Yes.
Mr. Howcroft?
Yes.
Mrs. Cordero?
Yes.
And Mr. Hood?
Yes. First item is the consent agenda. Everything listed in the consent agenda was distributed in advance of the meeting. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me back up. Pledge of Allegiance. I mistake.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Finally did it.
Consent agenda. Everything listed in the consent agenda was distributed in advance of the meeting. Does anyone have any request for something to be removed from the consent agenda discussed or voted on separately? May I have a motion to approve and accept the items listed in the consent agenda, including the minutes for the December 9th, 2025 meeting?
So motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes unanimously. Dr. Bill, do you have anyone sign up for the delegation? Okay, so we're going to move into old business, and I think we have the high school station agreement, but Dr. Bailey, before we do that, would you okay if I made a statement? So at the Acushnet School Committee's November meeting, a concern was brought to our attention regarding an interaction between two audience members. It was reported that one individual may have been aggressive and physically handled another audience member. The school committee takes all reports of inappropriate conduct seriously. Our meetings are connected to our schools and must remain safe, respectful, and welcoming spaces for anyone in attendance. Regardless of differing viewpoints, the expectation applies fully to school committee meetings. Any allegation involving physical contact or assault that causes concern will be reviewed carefully and addressed through the appropriate processes. When warranted, matters may be referred to the proper authorities, and steps may be taken to prevent further disruptions, including removal from meetings or restrictions to access school property. We remain committed to maintaining a civil and respectful environment for students, staff, families, and members of the community, and we appreciate everyone's cooperation upholding those standards. So, pretty disappointing to have to make a statement like that, but the statement speaks for itself, and we'll move on.
All right, an update on the high school tuition agreements. As you know, we've been in negotiations with New Bedford High School and Old Rochester Regional High School. And my update is simply that we've met for extensive time during a few sessions with both districts. I will say that the negotiation sessions have been very productive and thoughtful. All parties understand the importance of having strong agreements that are mutually beneficial and serve the educational needs of our Acushnet students. And I'm happy to report tonight that we have reached several verbal tentative agreements. We're now at the point where we will be drafting those verbal agreements into an agreement, and then we hope to meet again as a committee so that we can vote on these agreements. We hope to have it ready for you as soon as possible. That's all I have. Yeah.
Dr. Bailey, I would just make one comment to that. I think that if in fact those agreements are brought to a position where they can be reviewed by this committee, I think we should consider scheduling a special meeting to review and possibly vote on those, and not potentially wait till our next regularly scheduled school meeting. It's important that we get those, if we can, to agreement as soon as possible.
No problem. And then just with my report tonight, the first thing is Spotlight on Education. Mrs. Sylvia from the middle school principal is going to be presenting on applied learning, which is what we've been talking about with our curriculum and the grants that we've been working hard to get as a district. So With that, I'll turn it over to you, Ms. Sylvia.
I believe Mr. Gary is coming up. Thank you, Dr. Bailey. Chairman, Mr. Hood, school committee, members in the audience, my 8th grade families, thank you. Yes? Is it loud enough?
Kind of quiet.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have that tendency.
Like, bring it closer.
Is it good? Is it better?
Yes. Yeah, I think it difference.
Yes.
Hey.
Thank you. So applied learning. I think we eat, breathe, swim, drink it. We love it. What is applied learning? We're looking at engaging students in meaningful real-world experiences where they collaborate, apply knowledge, solve complex problems, and see relevance beyond their classroom. That it does make a difference once they leave school, what they're learning in the middle school. Connects instruction to real world, increases student engagement, builds problem solving, collaboration skills, strengthens confidence, develops lasting transferable understanding, supports our commitment to meaningful hands-on learning for every student. 8th graders, you want to come up too? This is about you. Your slides are out, but come on up now.
You should dance. No,
You can sit. You can stand for a bit with me. So the 5 tenets, and we've been, working with our staff and our student to pose meaningful real-world problems. It requires iteration and persistence. It is going to be a struggle. You may not get the answer correct the first way. Your science problem experiment may have to be tweaked and retried and rebuilt. It provides a professional frame. We prioritize collaboration, communication, and with the soft skills of empathy, that to know that everyone may not be in the same spot in the group, but to make sure that everyone in the group is included. Ms. Swigary and I, we've been working with the 1-8 Foundation. We can read more about 1-8 here. It has been the catalyst, though, in helping us reach and refine our vision for applied learning. It's been the catalyst to bring the high-quality professional development into our schools and to join us with other schools across the state. And then our students also are joining with other students across the state. Currently, we have the Open SciEd 6 through 8, Building Thinking Math Classrooms 5 through 8, Responsive Classroom 5 through 8. The DKP, the Democratic Knowledge Project, is an 8th grade curriculum for the civics. Responsive Classroom also is pre-K through 4. We brought a group of educators to Colorado last year for the Applied Learning Discovery Leadership Program in April. We brought in Investigating History 5 through 7 this year, and then this year we brought a group of educators to Philadelphia in October and toured several schools there as well.
And Acushnet on that.
In the future, we are looking, we submitted a grant for IH 3 and 4, Investigating History. We're looking for approval. Project Lead the Way, we submitted a grant. We got the first step approved. We actually visited Sandwich Middle School today and saw 2 Project Lead the Way classrooms there. And we have to submit the second part of the grant. We're looking at piloting ELA and math curriculum, and then also looking at bringing the Open SciEd to the elementary school. Students saw, we did this on Friday, December 12th. It was an in-school field trip. We had 25 8th graders, 25 7th graders. One group was with Mr. Solmier, one group was Mr. Greenhall. And this was a 4-hour virtual ideathon. Students applied skills developed through the applied learning. They worked alongside professionals. It was amazing to see. You can see down at the bottom, those are the partnerships that 1-8 brought in. We did our project with Flagship Pioneering. And that's this year's problem. Did any of you participate in the, do you want to come read the problem? Erin? Did you see that?
Yeah. This year's problem was that citrus trees with long
HIV.
HLB, bacterial disease that causes declining citrus production, has no cure and it can kill trees within a few years. Not all citrus trees are impacted in the same way. Students are provided various information on the phenomenon and are asked to investigate what might explain why some trees are tolerant to HLB when the fruit of so many other trees are ruined.
Thank you, Erin. So we can see here at the bottom right hand, I have a group of students and they are showing their first driving question to the group of professionals, getting feedback. The top left, the group of 7th graders showing their feedback, and you can actually see the professional in the bottom right speaking to the group of students. This was real-time, virtual. 7th graders on the left-hand side, the 7th graders teamed up. 8th graders showing their project. Both of those pictures are 8th grade students who are showing their projects and showing what they thought could be answers. And then they had a second go around. They had to develop their question even further. The industry professionals gave them more advice as to what to do. Then December 19th, we had our Civics Rights Showcase. And that's what I have some of my 8th graders here. It's Unit 2 of the Democratic Knowledge Project, ends with a Rights Project, where Ms. Bentley, the 8th grade civics teacher and students worked in teams to create an educational product to teach others about a specific right or why rights matter. We invited family and community members from 8:30 to 9:30, 9:30 to 10, and had 5th grade students come in and tour. Some of the feedback from the visitors, how these rights affect everyday life, why these rights matter today, how students think about civic issues. One thing that stood out to you today from our visitors, there's lots of things that stood out. Students did an amazing job, their creativity, each person had a part in the project. Second one from the bottom, the surprisingly high quality of the presentations didn't surprise me. They knocked it out of the park. It included, reenactments. Just a general pick of the entire grade. This slide, though, both slides have 5th graders talking to our 8th graders about their rights project. Really invested, asking questions, the 8th graders answering back. Okay. So, which group wants to go first? Wait, so Corbin, Jacob, and Andreas, you're going to go first? You have your poster? Come up here to the mic. Make sure we speak into the mic. Thank you. Posters. Yeah, sorry. Students are the most important piece. Which amendment did you focus on and why did you choose it? Which amendment did you focus on and why did you choose it?
We did the First Amendment, and we chose this because we really want to learn more about how it affected our lives, not just adults.
Andrea, so you go next?
Yeah.
What was the main message you wanted your audience to understand?
We wanted to show them how important the First Amendment was for our freedom and for the rest of everyone else in the country.
Jacob, how does this amendment impact your life as a student or a young person?
This right protects us when we talk on social media platforms.
How? How does it protect you when you talk on social media? It's an additional question.
It protects you by letting you say or express whatever you want if it's appropriate in the stance or situation.
So what might happen if this amendment didn't exist, Andreas?
We wouldn't be allowed to share our opinions to everyone, and laws would be harder to make since people weren't allowed to express their opinions to lawmakers.
Which part of this project was your most proudest moment?
One part we were proud of is the part of John Peterson.
Why?
Because it was probably the one with the most information about how the right of free expression kind of evolved from a trial to actual law.
1735? Yeah, Andreas, what was the most challenging?
I'd say the most challenging part is tying his case to the First Amendment because his case was a long time ago. But the easier part about it was we were able to connect it a little more easier because this is like the stepping stone of the First Amendment, so that really helped us.
Thank you. Anything else to share? No? How did you decide to work on this together? How did you decide on the First Amendment? Was it difficult working in the group?
Yeah, it was kind of difficult. We had some hiccups, but overall we came together and formed a really good group once we got our work together.
Happens with adults too sometimes. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Thank you. So, and Tristan was also part of this group, he just couldn't come today. Okay, so thank you, the three of you. And our second group. So tell me about, it was Miles was the facilitator, Aaron was the, what part? The content. Braylon, you're what part? The questioner. And Devin, you're what part? The designer. Thank you. What amendment did you focus on, and why did you choose it? Miles?
We focused on the Fourth Amendment, the freedom from unfair search and seizure, and we chose it to get a background look on how like police workings happen.
Do you want to share more, any of you, about why you chose it and police workings? Thank you. So what was the main message you wanted your audience to understand? Braylon, you have this one?
Search warrants have to be specific and thorough.
How does the amendment impact your life as a student or a young person? Devin?
It protects us from the government committing unfair searches.
You have an example? Do you want Miles? You want to share? No. Okay. So Aaron, what might happen if this amendment didn't exist?
The government would be able to search and take your things without you consenting to it.
So what part of the project are you most proud of? What do you think resonated with the community members who viewed it? Miles? I added.
We're most proud of how fast we completed it and how much we learned about the behind scenes of warrants and things like that. And
Why do you think the community enjoyed it?
the community enjoyed it probably because it goes along with the world outside of the lawyers and things like that.
Thank you. And what was the most challenging part, Braylon?
The research, because we have to cite it and find the evidence.
Hard to find? Why? You don't know yet, okay. So I appreciate, does anyone else want to share anything about this project and the process you went through it and what kind of support you received? It's not, I know. Did anything surprise you while researching this amendment? And I'll go back to the other group after. Did anything surprise you while researching this, Aaron?
Yes, actually, because I didn't expect something like a GPS to have such a strong magnet so it could stick to a car.
For my first group, did anything surprise you while researching the amendment?
We were surprised by the fact that, well, we knew that there was limits to how much you could say and express yourself, but We didn't know that if you lied about someone and ruined their reputation, that's actually legal.
Thank you. Braylon, Miles, and Aaron's and Devon's, has your opinion about this right changed after completing the project? Why or why not?
We discussed that our opinions haven't changed about this amendment because we think that it's as important as it was before we went through and searched all the evidence.
Chloe, has your opinion changed?
Yes.
It did change because we found out that if the school has like a school newspaper run by students, the students can't really say anything they want because it's the school's thing that really owns it.
Thank you. One more question for both groups. Which amendment do you think is most important today and why?
We think all of them are because we need all of them to make America great again.
My second group, thank you.
I want to say that.
I agree with Dennis because without all the amendments, this country wouldn't be how it is today. But I believe that the most important amendment is the First Amendment because that's how people express themselves in the country, how people say who they're going to vote for, and how they can persuade others to choose who they want to vote for.
Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Questions for the students? Do you have questions for the students at this point? No.
But thank you, welcome.
No. Thank you, my friends. Thank you.
This is so I want to thank the students for sharing your brilliance with us tonight. This is actually the best part for me in sharing my report and having students present. If you think of it, stop by my office. I have something for you tomorrow. So stop by. But I thank you because it's not always easy to come up and speak in front of the camera, in front of the audience. So thank you all so much. I think you did a nice job.
Yes, thank you. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea to come up here, so I do appreciate you all. And all the parents, thank you. Thank you, thank you. We are almost through with our update for applied learning, but we have some few more good things I want to share. So last year we had, if you remember, I think we recognized another group of students in Mr. Salmier because they had submitted projects to the Student Industry Connects. And this is where we submit the work and we receive feedback. So it's not instant feedback, the professionals come back to us. The last bullet though, I want you to see who is being used as an example on the 1-8 website. So you can see middle school, Open Syed, McKenna, Bear Hibernation, and that's our student work. Scroll down from last year. This is being used as the example for other 8th grade educators with Open Syed. It's on the 1-8 platform. That's the feedback from the professional in the industry, a biomedical engineer. And there we have the top Open Syed Science Award. Mr. Salmier, Chris Salmier, did receive that. So his work is up there for a model for other 8th grade classrooms because that work is being submitted. So we are submitting other work within the next couple of weeks. We're going to submit, I think the rights projects will be submitted. 5th grade IH, a dialogue between a British official and a colonist. 7th grade IH, source credibility. Open Syed, 7th grade thermal energy. 8th grade metabolic reactions.
Good evening. And just a little more on the expansion. So we're currently at a point right now where we have a lot of educators who are interested in trying to. So our teachers of like ELA and math, they're seeing and hearing all of these great things that are happening in social studies and science and civics, and they're actually looking for expansion and having more applied learning happening within their classrooms. And so we're kind of letting this just be an organic process where we're currently in a curriculum contract for math.
and ELA, one more year for ELA. And we plan to renew the math again for next year because these are not quick decisions. There's a lot of thought and it's very complex just switching over a curriculum. And so what we've kind of asked is that they, for now at least, try to pilot some highly rated, green rated curriculum, one that is in alignment with the 1.8 kind of supports these, and they're also either free or low cost, because curriculum can be very expensive. And so what we're trying to do is find ways to save money, but also continue to deliver really high quality curriculum to our students. So this year, EL Education is an ELA. We have parent letters going home soon for the grade 7 and 8 units coming up. But 5th grade will be learning about athlete leaders of social change. Grade 7 will be studying the Harlem Renaissance, and grade 8 will be studying the voices of the Holocaust. And then they'll likely pilot another unit next year as well. And if this isn't the curriculum that we're finding meets our needs, and we can have the conversation about either sticking with what we have or maybe trying something else out. But we're hopeful, because this is a free or low cost option, that maybe it will work. Likewise with math, illustrative math is one that we have received feedback from the 1.8 Foundation that they are in support of. And with both of these, they're not necessarily offering grants or professional development for implementation. But we have, in our trips to different schools around the state and the country, we've seen both of these programs in action. And we're seeing that evidence of student engagement and that deeper learning happening. So one of our 3rd grade teachers is, she recently piloted an area and multiplication with illustrative math, and she's also, her students gave her such positive feedback. Their feedback forms were just so interesting to read, but they really loved that engaging and collaborating with her classmates and learning from each other. So she's actually going to be piloting an additional unit this year, and then the middle school, each grade level will pilot an illustrative math program this year as well. Okay. Oh, thank you. Yes. And just, we always kind of include this in our presentations, but everything that was presented tonight was well aligned to our strategic plan, and that is kind of the list of how. And that's it. Questions?
So one question, I think what I just heard, and I want to say it back to you, is if this low-cost curriculum meets our needs, meets quality expectations, that is great, and we accept that. If it doesn't, we are not going to sacrifice the quality of the curriculum just because it's low cost.
Correct. And even these free curriculum that are available online, there are companies that then pick up that curriculum and offer the resources that districts can pay, say, for like student consumable books. Or they'll take a lot of the pieces that a teacher might present on the screen and put it into an online site that makes it just easier and more accessible for teachers and students. So, that could come with an expense that then somewhat mirrors what we're already looking at anyhow. So is it worth the change? So what we're trying to do is pilot these programs in the free version. And this is where the coaching comes in. They're helping, they're researching these programs, they're co-planning, they're doing a lot of the printing. They're trying to, with certain things, maybe laminate them so that they could be reused in the future. And then, so there'll be a lot of co-teaching because there's a lot of professional development that needs to come along with just, it's hard for a teacher just to open up a curriculum and start teaching it. And then we're trying to gauge the usability. So is it easy for a teacher to utilize the free version? What's the reality of that? Because right now, a lot of our curriculum programs, what we have are student consumable books. So like the ELA in math, through K through 8, they have these books that they write in. So of course you have to buy those every year. It's expensive. And then, they may not write in every page. So then we're just kind of looking at that. Does it make sense to reuse those? Do we photocopy? It's very complex, and
We're working with teachers, we're having conversations. We just had our instructional leadership team here tonight. We were having those conversations tonight. It's a quagmire, but ultimately what we really want to see is the student engagement and results for our students. And we really just find that those tenets of applied learning, that when they're embedded in the curriculum, that's where we're really getting, like, the magic is happening in those classrooms.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
I just want to thank both Mrs. Sylvia and Mr. Jerry for this presentation, but also for really being the leaders in this applied learning initiative that we have across the district. And also the teachers, we've had a lot of buy-in and a lot of success, as you can see from the students who presented tonight. Whenever we have an opportunity for a showcase, I would ask if you be invited. It's something to see. I had somebody here from the DKP organization, and she basically said that we are a model school, and that's why we continue to have visitors from other schools visit, because of the great work that our teachers and staff are doing, and led by these two ladies. So I just want to thank them again for all of their hard work. So moving on in my report, we're going to go from the curriculum and applied learning to the fresh fruits and vegetable program. I'm going to call Michelle Mello up to the podium. She's got a very short presentation to review with us right now.
Is that good? Can you hear me? Good?
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. Dr. Bailey, Chairperson Hood, School Committee. The Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program is a program that I heard of a couple of years ago and just got it started last year when the application came in. It's funded by the USDA. The schools applied for participate in the program. And this year we got funded approximately $28,000. I think we got a little bit more than $28,000. So this is above and beyond our reimbursements that we get for meals. This is strictly just for this program. It's based on, they only do it for the elementary school, and it's based on the amount of students. So it's between $45 and $55 per student, depending on how many people apply and what funds they have. So the application was available last February. I submitted that on May 29th, and the award was granted on July 2025, last July, we heard about it. So how it works is the students receive the fresh fruit and vegetable for snack time. They get it, we put it out in the hallways on the Campos bags with coolers in the bags, and the individual for each classroom. So there's one fruit or vegetable for each student, so they can try different things. It's fruit and vegetables outside of what they get in the lunchrooms, and it's normally at different varieties, because the point of the whole program is to try to get them to try things that they don't normally try. We have mangoes, they had jicama one day last week, so it's a lot of different things that they won't try, and it really works. It gets them to try things that they wouldn't try because they're in the classrooms and not in the lunchroom atmosphere. So we do it on Wednesdays and Fridays. We also have slides going with the slides. It's me, sorry.
That's one, two.
So I think I can probably talk over it. I think I can. I think we're good. So we put the slides on, and there's a couple fun facts about the fruit that they're going to get that day. And there's slides about what the nutritional value is for each one. And those play at lunchtime. So the benefits of the student and the student goals for the program is the access to the fresh fruit, vegetables, and healthy snacks. They get them delivered to the classroom and they have them at snack time. It gives them the opportunity to try new snacks and fruits and vegetables that they don't normally have at lunchtime, to get them to try new things. Of course, healthier food supports better focus and learning in the schools. It encourages healthy eating habits. So I have a funny story about that. Last January, we bought snap peas to try to get them to try something different. The whole case went, we put it out for a week, we had them in this school, we had them in the elementary school, nobody would eat them. They were on the fresh fruit and vegetable program, so they got them in the classrooms, and the next day they were coming to the cafeteria and asking us why we never have them on the lunch line. So they really are, when they get to try these things in a different atmosphere where there's not so many choices out in front of them, it really is helping them try new things and like new things. They've asked us for some of the things that go to the classroom to now have on the serving line, and we do. So the program is working, and it promotes nutritional education. We interviewed the student ambassadors to ask them, how they like the program. If they asked the other students how they like the programs, they ate all the food in that tray before they left. They did like it. They said that it was nice to have a healthy snack. They thought it would teach some of the fourth graders thought it would teach some of the younger kids how to eat healthier. So they were happy with that idea, and they wanted to see it keep going. So that's kind of the fresh fruit and vegetable program that we just started, and I'm sure that's something we'll continue to do. I'll apply for that again next year. Does anybody have any questions?
No, it's fantastic.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to ask if there's communication home about if the student has tried it and they like it, if there's some kind of way of letting the families know, because sometimes I know as a parent, I don't know that my child has tried something that at home they wouldn't have eaten, but may, because their peers are eating it, try it then.
Right, we don't have communication with the parents. I could communicate to you what they had that week, and maybe it's something we could find out, if they liked it, and we could do something like that. If you thought that would be helpful, to maybe send something home or email each week to let you know what they had.
Is that something that you could add to the menu? Like this week we're trying these fruits or?
I don't find out what's going to be on till Tuesday, because we want it to be fresh and it's all prepackaged.
Okay.
But I could always send something out on a Tuesday.
Is there a cap to the reimbursement? So I know we're getting 28,000, but do they cap it, or is it purely based on number of students times whatever the reimbursement?
They give you the amount the award was for when you get the award, and it's based on approximately 45 to 55. But what I did was made a budget in the beginning, so I know how much to spend each month to not go over that 28,000 by the end of the year. The equipment was purchased also in the beginning of the year, and that came from the funds.
Well, thanks for powering through the technical.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you for always being a great advocate for our kids in terms of their nutrition and trying new foods, so thank you. Next is a strategic plan update. This process started last year where I met with student groups, I met with individual staff members, every single member of the staff I met with for at least 15 minutes to get their input on this next strategic plan that we're planning out for the next 5 years. We're conducting currently multiple stakeholder focus groups, and you were all a part of one tonight with some other representatives from the town. Just to get broader input into what's going well, what are the challenges, and what are the opportunities. We're collecting a lot of data, and surveys will be going out. And then what we're going to do is we're identifying recurring themes and priority areas across the stakeholder groups, and we will be aligning those findings with the district goals, the student outcomes, as well as any operational needs. And then we'll be synthesizing everything into a new strategic plan, and we'll get it to the school committee, obviously, for feedback and for a vote. And that will be, later on in the year. But, does anybody have any questions about it? Okay. Next on, as part of my report, is the Acushnet Public Schools Bullying Prevention and Intervention Plan. And I would call Ms. Ramirez up because we do need a vote on that.
Good evening. So the bullying prevention and intervention plan is something that we completely revamped back in 2021. And it is something that needs to be voted on biannually by the school committee. So what we do, the process that we've been following is to present it to the Safety and Wellness Committee, have them review and make any suggestions for edits, changes, additions. We post this on our website, and it's also available linked in the student and family handbooks. And it kind of just describes the plan that we follow for preventing bullying, and then, for investigating and then intervening if necessary. And so all of that is spelled out in here. There have been no recommendations for changes from the Safety and Wellness Committee. So what you would be doing tonight is voting to approve this plan for another 2 years. And it has not had any edits or changes made to it.
So, a motion, yeah. One question before I motion. So, it's good for 2 years. Obviously, if something came up that required us to make a change, look at it prior to 2 years, we would do so.
Yes, we can do that.
Okay, could I have a motion to approve the APS bullying prevention and intervention plan as presented?
So, on that.
Second.
I'll second.
Is this roll call? No? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes.
The next couple of agenda items are donations that I would need the school committee to vote on separately. The first one were instruments donated by Sandra Medeiros. I believe it's drum supplies, a music stand, a recorder, and a book. So I would just ask the school committee to vote so we can accept that donation from Ms. Medeiros.
Can I have a motion to accept the donation of drum supplies, music stand, recorder, and book from Sandra Medeiros?
So motion.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes unanimously. Thank you to Sandra Medeiros for that donation.
Also, the next one is a $100 donation to the Ford Middle School Holiday Sing-Along at the town tree lighting from the Acushnet Fire and Police Departments. Just need a motion to accept that. We really appreciate the donation, and they've done this in the past.
Motion to accept the donation of $100 from Acushnet Fire and Police.
So motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes unanimously. Thank you to Acushnet Fire and Police.
And the last thing will be done and handled in executive session, but it's the union contracts. We finally have finished with all of our negotiations, including the CAP and the paras. We'll take care of that vote during the executive session. That's all I have for this evening. Thank you very much.
Other administrative reports to the Director of Technology update.
Good evening, school committee members. Dr. Bailey, Happy New Year. We're back. I've got a ton of updates, so I kind of try to keep it short. Systems update. I put together my programming background, and we've been doing a lot of scripting here. Give you some fun. Google has changed their licensing terms now, so if you archive a user and you don't actually put them in a certain location, you got to pay for that user come the end of the term. So what we did is, and think of that, because we have to keep everybody's data for however many years, students and teachers, it can get a little bit dicey on how you manage that. So what I did is we just put together a system that does it automatically for us now. It'll be in this district moving forward for as long as Google is here. So it's to make sure that we save our money. District wireless upgrade. Over the past year, we've completed a district-wide wireless refresh. Along with this upgrade, we took the opportunity to clean, standardize, do better, strengthen our security, etc. We improved coverage by running new cable. We relocated old access points. And most importantly, this work was completed entirely in-house by our tech team. We do not outsource the implementation, configuration, or cabling. Infrastructure. The district has now updated all major foundational technology infrastructure except the firewall, which includes network switches, VoIP phones, wireless access points, and more. During the time, we've updated procedures, our security approach for the entire district, because when I first came here, we failed 24 out of 24, and addressed configuration issues. So, with routine maintenance and updates, these systems are positioned to serve the district for the next 10 plus years. To be blunt, 15 shouldn't be a problem. All this work was also completed in-house, everything from us. Final core infrastructure update, so the firewall. So this final major foundational piece is our firewall. Excuse me. We have submitted our E-rate Form 470 to solicit quotes. The last piece. This year the district has Category 2 E-rate eligibility again. So this allows us to pursue discounted prices for certain internal connection equipment. This is different than Cat 1. And in the past, when I did my checking of the district, we only utilized Cat 1 in this district, and that's generally for about $15,000. That's just your ISP, your internet. We get Cat 2. Every district gets it. You can fully utilize it like we did 2 years ago, which was at the tune of over $110,000 that we got. We now get it back. So once that gets refunded and replenished, we get the eligibility again to go after that money. We're back in that. So with that, availability and discounts are tied to federal funding and our district demographics. But long story short, we don't know the exact funding yet, but we're in that process. We will maximize all our opportunities, and with this final piece, it will complete the district's foundational infrastructure. So this work represents a major step forward in a short period of time and reflects the district's commitment to reliable, accessible, and secure technology. And again, I just want to reiterate, this is all done in-house. We do not outsource anymore. Our technology department runs everything. We train them, and it's been fantastic. Now, I'm going to make sure that any extra money is going to go into these systems. We'll make it perfect. But is there any questions, concerns, comments, wishes?
Well, I would just make one comment, and I would like to thank you and your small team who made all of these upgrades and enhancements in-house, not requiring us to go external to do that. So that's a credit to you and the staff. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Very much appreciated.
Good evening. I appreciate also that they do it in-house. I don't like saying $128 an hour when you fix a switch. So you have my finance report. My finance report is for periods 1 through 6, 1 being July, 6 being all the way to December. Although it's half a year, the report really isn't half a year because we're on a school year, so it's really probably towards the end of February that we reach around the 91st, 92nd day after school. So we're on budget and things are very tight. We're watching every dollar carefully. We're not making any purchases that are not absolutely necessary. You'll see figures that seem low on here or maybe negative. Those are going to be charged off the grants, especially the special ed. Just haven't charged them back yet to the grants. I'm setting up those adjustments to make and send them over to town hall. They'll make those. We have circuit breaker. We have all the title grants. We have the IPDA grants. So those will all be charging back. So I don't have any concerns with any of those accounts. But like I said, it's very tight. It's going to be very tight next year. Also, we're watching it closely. Facility department has been doing everything necessary to try and keep the temperature in our building in the low 70s as far as the grade. We've had some spikes where classrooms have gone up into the 80s and they immediately react. It's all web-based. They can see what classroom, where it's happening. They go in, Jake, Josh, there's a part-timer Ron, they go in and fix that best they can. We've been replacing a lot of the motors and the drivers and the controls in classroom by classroom, the units, getting a better control of that. If you see the actual GUI that we have on it's on an iPad, you see the layout of the school, you see every room, it's pretty good. It shows your thermostat what the temperature is, so we do our best to help maintain the temperature across the district. The water infiltration project at the elementary school is complete. You see all the equipment's gone and removed. The architects, Gale Associates, are heading out to take final, they've got pictures, but they're going to do a final report. They'll take their own pictures. Once they do, they'll approve the final bills to be paid for that. It came in on budget, which was great. No disruption. So the gym closet's now back to where it should be, back to being used, and I think they're starting to put it back into that closet. Meanwhile, our team has been monitoring literally any water filtration they see, any leaks in roofs, they go up right away and they try and identify it. Because we had the roof sealed back in October, and every now and then something new pops up. So they're keeping a close eye on that. We don't want any more water getting in our buildings. And they're up there today, as a matter of fact. They're doing a great job. Food services, the USDA has approved the school lunch funding for the remainder of the school year. So at the beginning of the school year, there was that concern when SNAP was frozen or being held that we weren't going to get our reimbursements. They've now announced that no matter what, even if they freeze SNAP again, we'll continue to get our reimbursements from the because they've appropriated the funds and we'll get our reimbursements in our account, which is great. A bit of disruptions. And the food services is working with bread. On our Grab and Go breakfast program, we want to try and increase that as the students come in. They get it, basically get a breakfast and they can take it in their backpack, carry it with them, have it later on in the day wherever they want. So we're looking at different options and whatnot and increase that. Plus it helps with our internal funding. Each one of those is reimbursed by the federal government. So the more we hand out, the better we do also. Allows us to buy new equipment or upgrade and replace equipment that we have. Transportation, we continue. Bonnie in my department, she handles calls every day, emails every day, tries to accommodate every parent. There's always changes that happen and people move and whether it's parents who want them dropped off at their home or relatives' home. She works diligently at that and it's been going very well. It is a lot of work, but it's going very well. She does a great job at it. These solar panels over the parking lot, we've been progressing with that. The representative from Select Energy presented a couple weeks ago to the Board of Selectmen, and they basically said at this point, they've approved everything so far, they want to see the contract in hand. They want to read the contracts. The contract is for us to buy power from them. We're not contracting to build this. We're not contracting to buy power. It's an energy lease for 20 years. So the contract, I just got an email 1 hour ago, I think, that the contract finally has come back from our lawyers. Their lawyers have it now, but it looks like it's pretty much done. So hopefully I'll get to the Board of Selectmen tomorrow, to the town administrator, hopefully get on the agenda for the 20th. And hopefully they'll have time to review it, and hopefully they'll approve it. And if so, I assume everything will start this summer. The project will start this summer. It'll be great, because then it'll give us an opportunity to buy electricity cheaper than we are. This year we've had a break in our budget because we've had credits on our electricity bills and some rebates from Eversource. Those are going to run out probably in the next 3 or 4 months. Probably by the end of this year they'll run out. So that means next year we'll no longer have that credit. We'll be basically fully funding, but the sooner we can get onto the energy contract, we'll hopefully be a lot less of a pain on the market. That will save us money there. So that's it. Have any questions?
One question. So the budget is built based at the beginning of the year, and we make assumptions and we try to forecast things to the best of our ability, and we can do that well. It's still not perfect, obviously. So has anything changed in terms of any of the assumptions we may have used or things that you are keeping a particular eye on relative to the budget for the remainder of this year?
The biggest pieces of the budget are personnel. I think Dr. Bailey's done a great job managing that. Well, someone leaves, someone comes in with that. Losing someone at a low salary, bringing them in at a high salary, so that's going great. The other biggest piece of the budget is energy, and so far the winter hasn't been too bad. We've had some cold days. The summer was cold, but if the temperature stays like it is now, I think we'll be all right with that. Jake has been really doing a great job managing our boilers. The better he manages them, the better fuel efficiency we have when they run. Starting, actually I think tomorrow, we're gonna be doing a co-op with a couple of students from Greater New Bedford Regional Technical Vocational High School. Students from Greater, I'm visiting with my. The students there learn, I think they call it steam engineering or steam boiler. So we have a couple of those students who are going to come in, who are going to learn, but also work with us. So Jake's going to teach them how to monitor our boilers in a way, and in the same respect, how to repair around the building. A lot of these unit vents that I told we have a problem with, if there's too much heat or too little heat, they're going to work with them and repair them. And one of the other building maintenance issues. But we're going to do that from now to the end of the year. And if we can fit it in next year's budget, put it in next year's budget also to do that. So
I think that's great. So you mentioned boilers. I know the boilers are pretty old and probably due for a replacement. We haven't had any issues today.
we have issues all the time. We have issues all the time now. Like I said, Jake and Josh are constantly in there working, repairing, pieces go. So the rough estimates we've been told is 3 or 4 years of life out of them. Hoping, we can do better than that, but so we'll see as that goes. I've asked a couple of companies that have been in and give me some written statements on that. No one's given us any yet, but that's always a concern. They're from 1971, I think, the building was built. So, and like I said, we're replacing a lot of parts on them. Some of the tubes that go through the boilers that the water flows through, some have been rotted out. So before the school year, this year, back in August, we had a company come in and if they press those tubes out, they put new ones in. But I saw when the boiler was open and rust and debris inside. So we're doing a lot more maintenance.
Okay, so do you have, and this isn't for right now, maybe, do we have, are we tracking in terms of the amount that we are spending on maintenance of these boilers and do we have a way to compare it to? What I'm getting at is at some point do we need to evaluate whether, I think we need to evaluate replacing the boilers regardless, but at some point it also becomes how much money are we sinking into this from a maintenance perspective. So we should track that if we can get
Jake's, I told Jake to keep a list of everything that we do, not only the boilers, but all the other areas. So, again, we're doing a lot of repairs in-house, but some of them we do hire contractors to come in because it's specialized. One little valve a few weeks ago in one of the control rooms, looks like a little valve, kind of like your shower knob, $560, our cost at the supply house. So that's the kind of stuff that happens quick. The motors that pump the water through, we replaced one back in September. That was almost $1,800 for that motor. And there's I think 2 of each one. So
yeah, so I think it's timely. We talked earlier with the strategic planning about thinking about a 5-year capital plan. We should get that captured. Thank you. Do any school committee member have a report? Okay, also in the packet is a number of communication and information pieces. I won't go through the entire list here, but does anyone have any questions, thoughts? Okay, so we're going to adjourn into executive session. So can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting to enter into executive session pursuant to Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 38, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting law may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body without reason to return to open session, and the chair so declares. MOA for cafeteria union contract, MOA for paraprofessionals union contract, and Resende's open meeting law violation update. So
Second.
we'll do a roll call.
Mr. Ellis?
Yes.
Mrs. McGlynn?
Yes.
Mr. Alcock?
Yes.
Mrs. Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Hood?
yes. So can we have a motion to adjourn the school committee meeting?
So motion.
Second.
Mr. Ellis?
Yes.
Mrs. McGlynn?
Yes.
Mr. Alcock? Mrs. Cordero? Mr. Hood?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.